Alright guys, so today I want to be making a video talking about Apple CarPlay. So last year at WWDC, Apple did announce a new 2.0 CarPlay that had a bunch of different features that you can use to control your car.
This next generation of CarPlay provides content for all the driver's screens, and it goes beyond what you can do with CarPlay today. Deep integration with the car's hardware lets you tune your car's radio or change your temperature without ever leaving the CarPlay experience.
But they did say that it was going to be available at the end of 2024.
Vehicles will start to be announced late next year, and we can't wait to show you more further down the road.
And we still don't have any signs of that new CarPlay being available. So I want to speculate on why we still don't have cars having that new CarPlay feature that Apple announced, and what we're actually missing out on, and if this will be the same thing like AirPower where Apple announced something and never delivered. Alright, so right now I am in a Jeep Cherokee, so 2019 Jeep, and this car does have CarPlay. I usually drive my Tesla Model 3, but as most of you know, the Tesla Model 3 does not have CarPlay, and we're gonna see what CarPlay is right now with the old version and see what we're missing out on with the newer version. Alright, so if you look at how Apple CarPlay looks right now, it looks basically the same as the other iterations of Apple CarPlay. There is a settings that you can use with the Apple CarPlay now, but it's not necessarily something that you can do much difference with. It doesn't control anything other than the apps that you have right now. So you can use maps, music. I have different EV apps that I can use for Apple CarPlay. Also have the podcast app, my audiobooks, messages, phone calls, now playing calendar. So yeah, these apps are basically basic Apple CarPlay apps. And as you can see, the controls for the fan and the climate is separate from Apple CarPlay. So if I need to control the climate, I can control it right here. If I need to go back in CarPlay, I'm right here. The new iteration of CarPlay was supposed to have all of these different type of settings inside CarPlay, so you don't have to move between two OSs. Right now, if I want to control my music, I use Apple CarPlay, but if I want to control the heated seats, I would use this OS to control it, and this comes with the car. But with the new implementation, it was supposed to be a more elegant way of doing so, and the gauge cluster was supposed to actually implement CarPlay as well. So I can have the maps here, I can have the gauges, have the Apple CarPlay theme and different colors. All the different settings were supposed to be here as well. So the implementation that we have right now with CarPlay is cool, it's fine, but it's not the CarPlay 2.0. All right, so Apple announced the new CarPlay to be like a 2.0 CarPlay, and they did have a long list of car companies that was going to be using the new CarPlay. The only car company that I've seen actually implement some part of what Apple announced is Porsche. And Porsche do some of the features that Apple announced, but not all of them. There's a lot of different features like having the CarPlay control your gauge cluster and also being able to fit any type of screen. It does seem that the Porsche implementation of the new CarPlay only allows you to control like the heat in the car, the heated seats, all those little climate features. But other car companies haven't done anything from what I'm aware. It does look like Porsche is the only company that's actually trying. I don't know if this is going to be a situation where Apple doesn't have any control over how this rolls out, because I think the companies need to accept it. But from what I understood is that the list of companies that Apple showed on the 2022 WWDC were already on board with this new CarPlay update. Polestar was one of the companies that was on the list to be implementing the new CarPlay, and they just came out with the Polestar 3. So it's an electric SUV, but still has no mention of CarPlay. It does use the Google Automotive system, so you're gonna have a lot of Google apps and Google features that's already implemented in the car, regardless of what phone you have. But it did announce that they were supposed to get CarPlay. I was really excited for this CarPlay, and the current implementation of CarPlay is actually pretty good, but the new one was a lot better. It's even something that a lot of Tesla owners would love to have, because the current Tesla OS or infotainment system is amazing. But the new CarPlay just makes it even better. You can use any app that you want. It could fit your screen. It controls all the different things that your car can do. So it fits the car specifically. It's not one and done solution for all cars. It's gonna morph into different ways of using CarPlay depending on the car that you have. So the companies not being able to actually put this out is actually a bummer. I do think that Apple is going to come out with this still, because it doesn't seem that's something that's too hard to do, and the fact that they already have a few companies on board should make it very easy. But the question is, the companies that are on board still don't seem to be really implementing it as much as we thought they were going to do. So yeah, it is weird that Apple isn't really putting their foot down and implementing this new CarPlay, because it would seem to be something that everyone would want to join in on. So maybe it is a technological problem. Maybe it is something that the new cars need to have in order for this to work. But again, Polestar and Volvo just came out recently new cars this year, and they should have the new Apple CarPlay. Even Nissan came out with the Nissan Ariya this year, and it was on the list of companies to have the new CarPlay, but still no mention of the new CarPlay. And this is after Apple did their Scary Fast event. And since it passed, they only talked about Macs, not even iPads. They haven't talked about anything regarding iPads nor CarPlay. So this is why I'm making this video. I would have made this video a lot earlier, but we waited for Scary Fast event to come up, and it came and went, and now we still do not have the new CarPlay. But as we know, when Apple misses long deadlines like this, they just cut the product out. But the new CarPlay, I'm hoping, is not dead, because it was actually pretty cool. But if scrapping the new CarPlay would mean that Apple will come out with their own vehicle, I'm all for it. I've been waiting for Apple to come out with an electric vehicle for a long time now, and if that means canceling out the new CarPlay and coming out with your own vehicle, I'm all for it, and I would hope that Apple will come out with one. So the most likely scenario is that Apple is going to come out with the CarPlay 2.0, maybe later than what they expected, but who knows. I'm just hoping that we can get it before the end of the year, so we don't have to speculate on if Apple will cancel it. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Apple's going to cancel the new CarPlay? Are they going to bring it out maybe later? Are they maybe just going to make their own vehicle and have that implementation in their own cars? Or am I just overthinking it and it's going to come out this year in a software update? Yeah, so see you guys on the next video. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys think. Peace.